with Justice League Doom, I am moving on to Justice League Doom very quickly. Just the fact that so many of the old voices are back, and what was that? Because you've, and many of these things, I've in fact asked you about the fact that you always have to stunt cast.
Right.
How does it feel to go back to?
The best. It's like going to a family reunion where you handpick your family. I always, whenever I'm given a Justice League project, I always ask, may I use the original cast? Because I thought I did a pretty good job some, 15 years ago when I first cast them. And sometimes they say yes, and sometimes they say no. This time they said yes. It was so great to hear all those voices again, you know. Certainly we've done lots of projects with Kevin since the Justice League, and lots of projects with Tim Daly since the Justice League, and lots of projects with Nathan Fillion, but having him play the Green Lantern on this was really fun. And then Susan Eisenberg I hadn't worked with in a long time, and that was just a pleasure. We had new characters like Metallo in it, and I couldn't get Malcolm McDowell to come back. He was unavailable. I think he was in Europe, and we just couldn't get him within our production period. So I hired this wonderful actor named Paul Blackthorne, who's really good. And then Claudia Black came in to play Cheetah. And then, so a lot of really cool, different new people that they kind of got added to this extended family now. Michael Rosenbaum's back as the Flash, and I have my list, I can tell you. Carl Lumley. What was really fun about Carl is I had him play John Jones, of course, and then he got to play his like sort of equal evil nemesis, Malafa'ak. And I had the same actor play the two characters, and that was really kind of cool. I think for Carl, too, to be able to play those two characters. So it was really wonderful to have all these guys come back. I want to make sure I'm not leaving anybody out. Oh, David Kaufman came back as Jimmy Olsen. That was really fun. I haven't had him play Jimmy Olsen since the Superman series, and that was a long time ago. And then the beautiful Bumper Robinson came in to play Cyborg, who really wasn't a part of the Justice League universe when we did that cartoon. So lots of good actors coming in for this one. It's a good one. What else?
And for year one, I mean, again, you always pull magic, and the three people that you got that I never would have pictured them, but yet when you hear them, Bryan Cranston, Elijah Dushku, and Ben McKenzie, it was like, they just seem to fit those roles perfectly.
Really, don't they? I'm so lucky so often that so many of these stunt castings, these celebrities say yes, because sometimes you just know they'd be right, and oftentimes they say no simply because of their availability. They just can't. We have just a limited amount of time that we can record in, and it may be as much as a month, but they may be in Europe, they may be shooting, their schedule's impossible, and we will record on Saturdays and Sundays. Nathan, I think we did record on a Saturday to get him, which is so swell of him to say, yes, I'll come give you my few hours off that I have a week. But when it fits and it's right, to replace an actor, especially a celebrity, if they're not right, is really depressing. So I work really hard to make sure that this is the right actor. And if I'm not really familiar with their work, for example, if I had not watched a lot of Southland, I don't know that I would have known Ben's work all that much. So if I don't know their work, I try to study it and watch a bunch of their work. And God knows there's enough ways to see their work these days, whether it's DVDs or online or whatever. And then you can go, absolutely, that's the right voice. Now, with Ben, I know Regina King very well from Southland because we did the Boondocks together. So I just said, I'm going to call Regina and find out if Ben's a good guy. I'm going to spend hours and hours with him. I'm going to find out. And sure enough, she's like, oh, he's wonderful. You're going to love him. He'll absolutely give you his full game. And he did. And so if I have those resources, I'm not afraid to call up a friend and go, how is so-and-so? Are they a good actor? Because, you know, some actors are weird on set. You find out they're, like, problematic. Everybody has to tiptoe around them. They think they're a bigger celebrity than they are. Well, I don't need to do that. I want somebody who wants to be there.
Creating personalities. Anybody we can get a name? Kevin Conroy, right?
That's problematic. I wouldn't badmouth anybody. I wouldn't want them to badmouth me, so I wouldn't do that to them. No, I've been very lucky, knock wood, that I can't really tell you that I've had. There was one instance where I had booked a celebrity that I had wanted to work with for years and years and years on the Justice League series that couldn't do it. Just never spoke louder than they just wouldn't. And it was a big, strong character he was playing. So disappointing. I almost cried at the end of the session. I was like, I love him so much. He's good. So it's embarrassing, but that's all.
You've cast so many great actors in all these iconic roles. What's your process for? I mean, do you try to hear them in your head first? How do you decide what voice fits what character?
I keep a wish list of celebrity actors that I want to work with. And when I say celebrity, I don't mean they have to be a big fat movie star. I just mean there's somebody that's known because you can see their work on TV or whatever. So I have a massive list list over the years of people that I wanted to work with, and that's the first thing I go to when I go, and then I'll look and check. Okay, we did offer so and so that role, but he just wasn't available, or we offered that guy the role and he wasn't interested in the money we have for these, because we don't have enormous feature film type money. Some of these guys get $500,000 to walk through the door. We don't have $500,000. That's our budget for the whole piece. So I keep notes as to why they turned me down or whatever, and so I start there. Then I look at TV Guide, and I look page through and go, okay, what are the top shows right now? Who is everybody looking at on TV, and how will that work, and who do I know, and who do I like? And then we all take a big meeting, just like this, where we all sit together, and it's Warner Home Video, publicity, Bruce Timm, myself, all the creative people, and we go through it and we go, who do we all like? Let's put together a list of names. And then after we've got this huge list compiled, we go, okay, now in what order do we want to go after these people? Who do we think will go well? Who's a good, Superman to this Lois Lane? Who's going to match up well? And then you have to make sure that you don't end up with, okay, the first Superman said yes, and we're down to like Lois Lane number 5, but they won't really be good together. Then you have to sort of revisit it and go, okay, who's going to... So, and then there's a thing called the Players Directory, which is a big, like a yearbook of all the actors in the Screen Actors Guild. And you just page through and go, okay, this guy, oh yeah, I know that guy, he's great, what a great voice. And I had watched an episode of Castle and seen this wonderful actor with a great raspy voice. And I called up, tracked him down by IMDb, and then called up Nathan and said, Nathan, is this a good guy? Oh yeah, I like him so much. And brought him in, and he came in and did, I forget which piece it is. I think it's something I can't even announce yet. We haven't talked about it yet.
Can't announce it.
Great raspy voice. But I'll just do that. I'll just go, my gosh, that's a great voice, and then track him down and bring him in. And again, if I can do the research and find out from somebody else, how is this guy, then I'll do that too.
Last question.
With Nathan, the casting of Nathan, when you put all that group together in the recording booth again, you've got the familiar voices of Michael and Carl and all those guys.
Right.
How does the dynamic change though when you've got Tim, who's never worked with those other cast members, and you've got Nathan coming in as Green Lantern? How does the dynamic change in the recording?
Well, because they hardly ever record together. It doesn't really change in the booth. As far as they're not acting.
They're not.
Their schedules are dreadful. Like I said, Nathan recorded on a Saturday. If I brought the cast in, you have to pay more to an actor to pay him to record him on a Saturday. So I couldn't afford to bring the whole cast in on a Saturday. So you grab, Kevin lives here in New York. I picked him up separately. Tim, I recorded in Los Angeles on a break from the private practice program and got him in. So everybody, all the main cast, the main Justice League, practically all, looking here at the dates. Tim and Susan Eisenberg recorded together on the same day, different times, but yeah, they all recorded separately. Carl Lumley and Michael Rosenbaum did record together, but they all recorded separately, so there's not really a dynamic in the room. I have to just be aware of the dynamic, ultimately how it sounds, but that will fit together as a cohesive piece.
Can I sneak
Yes,
one
please,
in?
go ahead.
What I think is cool about year one, that's for voice direction, the challenge, it's a more dramatic piece than
It
some of
is.
the others. So that must have been fun for you to do.
Really nice, because we really made a conscious decision to make it like a live action feature, and that let the actors be a little bit more natural and not pushing the energy and not be too broad or too cartoony. It was really nice.
Moving your share.